I have been on self-improvement for almost 2 years now, and out of those 2 years, I've really only been working relentlessly, diligently for the past 3 or 4 months. Really, when the summer started and I got back from vacations, like from mid-July, only really started working relentlessly. Just think about that for a second, bro. Out of this 2 years I was on self-improvement, I've only been working every day, like hard, like uh, to the point where I feel fulfilled with life for 3 or 4 months. And I'm not even sarcastic. I've never felt that much fulfilled in life that I have before the summer. And the big problem as to why I wasn't working as hard as I could, why I was cheating on my diet, is because I had this one problem. This video is gonna get really serious, so I want you to stay till the end. If you have ever struggled with self-love, if you have ever struggled with self-respect, then I think this video will be really helpful for you. And I want you to full screen this, and I want you to stare at me in the eye. I want you to give me direct eye contact, because it does not get more realer than this video. Throughout 7th to 9th grade, I've always really struggled with school. And what that ended up, you can probably guess what I'm about to say. What that ended up was my mom, just specifically my mom, right? Just yelling at me every single day, bro. It was so. Sometimes it got me agitated, but most times it just got me sad that maybe she thinks I'm a failure. Like, my mom loves me, right? I know that, but but that's not the subject we're talking about right now. We're talking about how I would always get like, there were days when I would get off from my bus and I would literally be scared to come home, because I know my mom already knew what grade I got on the test. So just from my parents' side, I thought what I thought as to what I thought. Don't get the wrong idea. What I thought is they viewed me like crap, and that ended up with me just lowered my self-esteem, like extremely. And then from my parents' side, right? And then from my friends' side, the people who I went to school with, my peers in school, the group chat I was in school at that time, they also used to make fun of me. I was like the clown of the group chat. I was like, I can't, I'm not even making this stuff up. I would, like, literally every single day, I would get made fun of in the group chat, right? And then when I like hit back, like when I try to defend myself, then the whole group chat would just get mad at me, and that just agitated me. But both of these things, the people who I surrounded myself with 24/7, viewed me like crap. What that ended up with me, it started making me view myself as crap. You know what happened to me? I started cheating on my diet more. I started skipping workouts more. I started training like a coward. I started sleeping in super late, because what's the point, right? It's not like I'm gonna work the next day, so let's just have some fun this night. Let's watch a movie or something. Let's just scroll for the next 3 or 4 hours and then go to bed at like 2, 3 a.m. And even on school nights, I would do that sometimes. And I'm not making that up. Self-love, self-respect, mental health, I think it's the most important thing in a man's journey. Because if let's look at a billionaire, right? If a billionaire has poor mental health, if he's not fulfilled with life, if he's fat, if he has to walk around with like 10 bodyguards because he can't defend himself, then what's the point of having all that money? What's the point of working 24/7 relentlessly if you're not fulfilled with the work that you're doing, if you're not fulfilled with your life purpose? It doesn't make sense, right? So then when summer came around, I had vacations, right? I went to Pakistan. I visited my relatives. It was a really fun time. I went to restaurants all the way on top of the mountains. That was the best memory I had this whole summer. Um, yeah. When I got back from vacations, something clicked in me. I really looked at myself in the mirror, and I said to myself that you're not going to live this life. You are going to live a fulfilled life. We are going to achieve our dreams. So for the next 2 weeks after that, I started this one habit. And this one habit, you might be doing every day, you might not be doing every day. that one habit, my friends, it was deep journaling. Now you see the importance of our self-improvement habits, right? Because doing our self-improvement habits, it's not going to guarantee us success, but what it is going to guarantee us is having the ability to reach success, because we're going to have all these cheat codes like increased attention span, good fitness, good mental health, all these things. So without them, it's going to be so much more harder to reach success, which is why it's so much more important to be deep journaling, to be meditating. What I deep journaled about for the 2 weeks is the first prompt that I was deep journaling about for the first week was, what was one traumatic experience that I had in my lifetime? Maybe not so traumatic, but I viewed it as traumatic, okay? What was one experience that I just did not like, that made me view myself, that made me have low self-esteem? If I could answer that in one sentence, it was because of school. It was literally because of school. It was because for the past 2 or 3 years, my mom could not see that I just couldn't focus in class. I just didn't have that skill. And only until this summer have I really fixed that. And if God wills, I'm gonna do really good in school now, bro. Watch what I do in school. The second prompt that I journaled about was, could I have infinite amount of self-love for me if no one, how do I word this? If no one cared about me the same way. And for the first few days, I was like, no. I was like, why? Like, how could I do that? Like, that just sounds gay to me. But obviously, because I've been literally getting treated like crap for the past 2 to 3 years, so obviously I'm going to say that. But after, I just realized, why would I listen? Like, for example, my friends, right? Why do I need to listen to such degenerate people when I'm already trying to better my life? Why not surround myself with people who are also just the same, who are also just like me, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's why. Once you start to surround yourself with people who are much more like you, then you're going to reach your goals much better. It's just a free mental health cheat code, bro. You have to surround yourself with people who are more like you. You have to ditch these friends who just keep on